It was an overcast day at Kensington Palace, and the usually vibrant gardens seemed to reflect the somber mood that had settled over the royal residence. Inside the stately walls, the atmosphere was tense, and the quiet was punctuated only by the soft footfalls of the staff moving about their duties. But there was an unmistakable undercurrent of worry and sorrow, one that had been growing steadily over the past few weeks. Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, stood by the large window in his private study, looking out over the sprawling grounds. His hands were clasped tightly behind his back, his knuckles white with the strain. He had always been a man of composure, of quiet strength, but today his normally steady demeanor seemed on the verge of cracking. The news he had received only hours ago had rocked him to his core. Catherine, his beloved wife, and the mother of their 3 children, had been diagnosed with a serious illness. It was news that had sent shockwaves through the entire royal family, and the weight of it was almost unbearable. As the future king, William had always understood the responsibilities that came with his position. He had been raised to be strong, to keep his emotions in check, and to always put duty before self. But this was something he had never prepared for. How could he be strong when the person he loved most in the world was suffering? He turned away from the window, unable to bear the sight of the gardens that Catherine loved so much. His mind was racing, filled with thoughts of what the future might hold. Would she be all right? Would their children be forced to grow up without their mother? The very thought of it was too painful to contemplate. King Charles, William's father, had always been a source of guidance and wisdom. But even the king seemed to be struggling with this news. There was a deep bond between Charles and Catherine, one built on mutual respect and admiration. For Charles, seeing Catherine, a woman he had come to love as his own daughter, face such a daunting battle was heartbreaking. William had always admired his father's resilience, his ability to carry the weight of the crown with grace and dignity. But today, as they had spoken about Catherine's diagnosis, William had seen a rare vulnerability in his father's eyes. It was clear that this news had shaken him deeply. The two had sat in silence for a long time, each lost in their own thoughts. Eventually, Charles had reached out and placed a hand on William's shoulder, a simple gesture that spoke volumes. They were in this together, a family united in their love and concern for Catherine. But for William, the burden of responsibility felt heavier than ever. As the future king, he knew that he would one day be expected to lead the nation, to be a symbol of strength and stability. But how could he lead when his heart was breaking? How could he be the rock that his country needed when his own foundation was crumbling? In the days following Catherine's diagnosis, the palace became a place of quiet reflection. The usual hustle and bustle of royal life seemed to slow down, as everyone rallied around the Duchess of Cambridge. The staff moved about with a renewed sense of purpose, doing everything they could to ensure that Catherine had the care and support she needed. For Catherine, the news had come as a shock. She had always been healthy, always taken care of herself and her family. The idea that she could be seriously ill was something that had never crossed her mind. But now, faced with this unexpected reality, she found herself grappling with a range of emotions: fear, uncertainty, and most of all, concern for her children. George, Charlotte, and Louise were the light of her life. Every decision she made, every step she took, was with them in mind. They were still so young, so innocent, and the thought of them having to face life without her was unbearable. But Catherine was not one to wallow in self-pity. She was a mother first and foremost, and her priority was to ensure that her children were protected from the harsh realities of her illness for as long as possible. She knew that they would need her strength now more than ever, and she was determined to be there for them, no matter what. She spent her days with them, trying to keep things as normal as possible. They went for walks in the gardens, read stories together, and played their favorite games. But even in these moments of joy, there was a lingering shadow, a reminder of the uncertainty that lay ahead. William had been by her side every step of the way, his love and support a constant source of comfort. But she could see the toll it was taking on him. He was trying to be strong for her, for their children, but she knew that he was struggling. She could see it in the way his shoulders sagged when he thought she wasn't looking, in the way his eyes seemed to carry a weight that hadn't been there before. Catherine wished she could ease his burden, take away the pain and fear that she knew he was feeling. But all she could do was reassure him, tell them that they would get through this together. And deep down, she believed it. She had to. As news of Catherine's illness slowly began to leak to the public, there was an outpouring of support from all corners of the world. The Duchess of Cambridge was beloved by millions, admired for her grace, her kindness, and her dedication to her family and her role within the royal family. Messages of love and support flooded in from all over, letters, cards, and emails from people who had been touched by Catherine's work or who simply wanted to offer their best wishes. The British public, in particular, rallied around her, holding candlelight vigils and organizing fundraisers in her honor. The press, too, took a respectful stance. There were no intrusive headlines, no prying questions. Instead, the focus was on celebrating Catherine's contributions to the country and highlighting the importance of family during difficult times. The royal family, it seemed, had once again captured the hearts of the nation. But for William and Catherine, the public response was a double-edged sword. On the one hand, they were deeply moved by the outpouring of love and support. It was a reminder that they were not alone in this fight, that they had the support of an entire nation behind them. On the other hand, attention also brought with it a sense of pressure. They knew that their every move was being watched, that people were looking to them for strength and guidance. It was a burden that William, in particular, felt acutely. He had always been a private person, someone who valued his family's privacy above all else. But now, with Catherine's illness in the public eye, he found himself struggling to balance his role as a husband and father with his duties as a public figure. King Charles, too, felt the weight of the public's expectations. As the head of the royal family, he knew that it was his responsibility to lead by example, to show the world that they were strong and united in the face of adversity. But as a father, he was also deeply concerned for his son and daughter-in-law. The balance was a delicate one, and there were times when even he found it difficult to navigate. King Charles had always been a man of duty. From a young age, he had been groomed to be the future king, taught to put the needs of the country above his own. But as he watched his son and daughter-in-law navigate this difficult time, he found himself struggling with his dual roles as a king and a father. Catherine had always been like a daughter to him. From the moment William had introduced her to the family, Charles had been impressed by her warmth, her intelligence, and her dedication to her role. Over the years, they had grown close, and he had come to see her as a vital part of the family. Seeing her face such a daunting battle was heartbreaking for him. He wanted to do everything in his power to help, to protect her and his son from the pain that lay ahead. But he also knew that there were limits to what he could do. This was a fight that Catherine and William would have to face together, and all he could do was offer his support and guidance. There were moments, late at night when the palace was quiet, that Charles found himself reflecting on his own life, on the choices he had made and the sacrifices he had been forced to make. He had always put his duty first, often at the expense of his personal happiness. But now, seeing the toll that Catherine's illness was taking on his family, he wondered if he had made the right choices. He had always tried to be there for his sons, to offer them guidance and support as they navigated their own paths in life. But there had been times when duty had pulled him away, times when he had been forced to prioritize the needs of the country over the needs of his family. It was a reality that he had come to accept, but now, in the face of this new challenge, he found himself questioning whether he had done enough. As a father, his heart ached for William. He could see the pain and fear in his son's eyes, and he wished that there was something he could do to take it away. But he also knew that this was a journey that William and Catherine would have to navigate on their own. All he could do was be there for them, offering his love and support in any way he could. In the weeks that followed Catherine's diagnosis, the royal family came together in a way that they never had before. The bonds that had always been there, but perhaps had not always been visible to the public, were now on full display. Prince Harry, who had recently stepped back from his official duties as a senior royal, flew back to the UK to be with his family during this difficult time. Despite the tensions that had arisen in recent years, the bond between the brothers remained strong, and Harry knew that his place was by William's side. The two brothers had always been close, sharing a unique bond that had been forged in the wake of their mother's tragic death. They had been each other's confidants, each other's support system, and now, in this time of crisis, that bond was more important than ever. Harry's return was a source of comfort for William. Despite everything that had happened between them, William knew that he could rely on his brother. The two spent hours talking, reminiscing about their childhood, and reflecting on the challenges that lay ahead. It was a reminder that no matter what had happened in the past, they were still brothers, still family. The Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla, also played a crucial role in supporting the family. She had always been close to Catherine, and the two women had developed a strong bond over the years. Camilla was a source of comfort and strength for Catherine, offering her guidance and support as she navigated her illness. Together, the family faced the challenges that lay ahead with courage and determination. They knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but they also knew that they were stronger together. The love and support they shared was a source of strength for each of them, helping them to navigate the difficult days that lay ahead. As the weeks turned into months, the public support for Catherine and the royal family only grew stronger. There was a sense of unity, of shared concern, that brought people together from all walks of life. The country had been through so much in recent years, and now faced with this new challenge, the British people rallied around their future queen. Fundraisers were organized in Catherine's honor, raising money for cancer research and support services for families affected by illness. The outpouring of love and support was overwhelming, and it was clear that Catherine had touched the hearts of millions. The press, too, continued to show respect for Catherine's privacy. There were no intrusive headlines, no speculation about her condition. Instead, the focus remained on the positive impact that Catherine had had on the country and the ways in which people could show their support. For William and Catherine, the public support was a source of comfort and strength. They knew that they were not alone in this fight, that they had the love and support of an entire nation behind them. It was a reminder that, no matter what challenges they faced, they were stronger together. As the months passed, Catherine began to show signs of improvement. The treatment she had been receiving was working, and her doctors were optimistic about her prognosis. It was a time of cautious optimism, as the family began to look to the future with renewed hope. For William, the relief was palpable. The fear and uncertainty that had plagued him for so long began to lift, replaced by a sense of hope and determination. He knew that they still had a long road ahead of them, but he was confident that they would get through it together. The children, too, were a source of joy and comfort for both William and Catherine. Their innocence and optimism were a reminder of the simple joys of life, and their love and laughter helped to lift the spirits of everyone in the palace. As Catherine's health continued to improve, she began to take on more of her official duties. It was a gradual process, but each step forward was a victory, a testament to her strength and determination. The public continued to show their support, and there was a renewed sense of hope and optimism in the country. As Catherine's health improved, the royal family began to look to the future with renewed hope and optimism. The challenges they had faced over the past few months had brought them closer together, strengthening the bonds that united them as a family. For William and Catherine, the experience had been a reminder of what was truly important in life. It had shown them the strength of their love for each other and for their children, and it had deepened their commitment to their roles within the royal family. The country, too, had been changed by the experience. The public support for Catherine and the royal family had been overwhelming, and it had brought people together in a way that had not been seen in years. There was a renewed sense of unity and shared purpose, a reminder that no matter what challenges they faced, they were stronger together. As they looked to the future, William and Catherine knew that there would still be challenges ahead. But they also knew that they were ready to face them together. Their love for each other and for their family was stronger than ever, and it would carry them through whatever lay ahead. As the months passed, William found himself reflecting on the lessons he had learned over the past year. The experience had been one of the most challenging of his life, but it had also been one of the most profound. It had shown him the strength of his love for Catherine, the importance of family, and the true meaning of duty. As the future king, William knew that his role came with great responsibility. He had always been aware of the weight of the crown, but now, more than ever, he understood the importance of balancing that responsibility with the needs of his family. The experience had also deepened his appreciation for the support of the British people. Their love and support had been a source of strength for him and Catherine, and it had reminded him of the importance of his role as a public figure. He knew that he had a duty to lead by example, to show the country that they were strong and united in the face of adversity. For Catherine, the experience had been a journey of self-discovery. It had shown her the strength of her own spirit, the depth of her love for her family, and the importance of taking care of herself. It had also deepened her commitment to her role within the royal family, and she was determined to use her experience to help others who were facing similar challenges. As they looked to the future, William and Catherine knew that the challenges they had faced over the past year had changed them in profound ways. But they also knew that those challenges had brought them closer together, deepening their love for each other and for their family. They were determined to use their experience to help others, to be a source of strength and support for those who were facing similar challenges. They knew that they had a unique platform, and they were committed to using it to make a positive impact on the world. Their love story was one of resilience, of strength, and of unwavering commitment to each other and to their family. It was a story that would be told for years to come, a testament to the power of love in the face of adversity. As they looked to the future, William and Catherine knew that, whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, with the same love and determination that had carried them through the past year. And they knew that, no matter what, they would always be stronger together. As Catherine continued on her road to recovery, the royal family began to look to the future with renewed hope and optimism. The experience had been a difficult one, but it had also been a time of growth and reflection. It had shown them the strength of their love for each other and for their country, and it had deepened their commitment to their roles within the royal family. For William and Catherine, the future was filled with promise. They knew that there would still be challenges ahead, but they also knew that they were ready to face them together. Their love for each other and for their family was stronger than ever, and it would carry them through whatever lay ahead. As they looked to the future, they knew that they had a unique opportunity to make a positive impact on the world. They were determined to use their experience to help others, to be a source of strength and support for those who were facing similar challenges. Their love story was one of resilience, of strength, and of unwavering commitment to each other and to their family. It was a story that would be told for years to come, a testament to the power of love